Hi there, it's Theresa from Theresa Holistic Tarot, and I'm just about to do the reading for February for Cancerians. So let's get started. Let's play the energy. So angels, spirits, guides, what do Cancer need to know for February, please? What would stand them in good steads? Can we please have some guidance for Cancer for February 2022? For February 2022 for Cancer, please. Okay. Let's get started. The first energy card is rest and rejuvenation. So you might need some time out. This can be self-care, just to look after yourself, or it can be about self-reflection and digging deep. Ooh, that's quite unusual. So I've got the World, which I'll put there, and then I have these two cards, both reversed. So I'll just leave them as they are, reversed. But this would indicate storm warning. Oh, I think I'm getting tired. Storm warning is normally about an external event which you have no control over, which would impact upon you. Broken heart, as you can see, would indicate disappointment, feeling let down, maybe being betrayed, a past relationship, living in the past, really sadness, regret, something that's really hurts your heart. They're both reversed, so this would actually, together, they would indicate you've had a narrow escape from something. So the storm has been averted, healing or whatever's taken place. So something that may have come across to you as a disappointment, honestly, is going to work out for the good. And you certainly would have moved on from it already, or you're less affected than you think you should have been or would have been. But if it's in regards to if it's in regards to a relationship, that's quite funny. I've never had them fall out just like that, so it's significant. So angel, spirit, scan, and the World. I didn't even tell you about the World. The World, you're standing on top of the world there. The world is your oyster. World's at your feet. This is energy, potential, growth. It's exciting. It's the biggest travel card in the deck. It's just about saying, get going and grab it. It's yours for the taking. So it's quite interesting. I just love it. It can also mean this energetically. You're closing a cycle and beginning a new cycle of energy, and moving away from narrow escapes, moving away from hurt and disappointment or betrayal. You may have to dig deep in the process about really establish what it is you want to achieve, because this is, yes, it's about looking after yourself, but part of it is self-reflection, either meditating or spending time just by yourself, quiet, and saying, right, okay, what is it I want to do with my life? What's my dream? And I would always say to you, look at it like with the magic wand. Imagine that magic wand over your head, ding-a-ling. What would change in your life to indicate the life that you really would love to live? So what would have to change? And what would your new life look like? Where would you be? Who would you be with? What are you doing? What do you look like? How are you feeling? So allow yourself to really give it maximum imagination. Connect with it from the heart, not the head. Connect with the heart. Okay, let's have 3 tarot, please, for rest and rejuvenation. 3 for the World and 3 for broken heart and storm warning reversed. So It's come up again. Fancy that. So this is what you're going to have to dig deep about. It's about digging deep about what you perceived as really something that wounded you. Because there's healing taking place. So check that out. What happened that you feel that you're still dwelling on, that you may need to make peace with and heal from? Next card, Queen of Pentacles. And the third is the Hermit. Okay, 3 cards for the world, please. We have the 8 of Swords. I'm pulling 2 again now. We have Strength, and we have the 6 of Pentacles. And for joint 2 here, we have the 4 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Swords. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Right, so I'm going to start with the first card, the central card, the last card, because those hold important positions as they can influence the other cards. So let's begin with those, and then I'll tell you what the others mean and what it sort of means collectively. So I've already mentioned the 3 of Swords. So it's about, now this can be current or very, very recent past. And you might still be either smarting or hurting or dwelling on something, keep thinking about something. Your thoughts keep going back to a person or to something that happened, or even to a place, or it can be an old memory, but it feels more recent than that to me. Now, just identify it. For now, identify it, because it's about making peace with it, maybe doing some guided meditations about energy cord cutting. Because are you actually ready to cut ties with it? The effect that it's had on you? Are you ready to cut? Are you allowing yourself to heal, or are you sort of enjoying picking at that scab? And I'm going to be as blunt as that, because this can be when we're stuck in that loop of, you know, when our mums used to say, don't touch it, don't pick at it. But we would go around the edges and we'd be lifting it and it would hurt, but we couldn't stop ourselves. This is very much the same energy. Now, at the very center here, you have strength. Now, strength is, it can be about having to endure or tolerate a situation. So something may have happened that you've just had to a certain degree, grin and bear it, or just get on with it. But the very important part of this card for me is the Lion here. She's actually taming the beast. And when it comes to human beings, it's about the internal beast. It's about our minds. Because our minds are just everything. They think the thoughts, and the thoughts create the feelings, the emotions, and then the emotions impact upon the behaviour. So this is about taming the internal beast. So you do need time out to dig deep. What is it that you view as something that has hurt you, damaged you, affected you, impacted upon you? Have a look at it realistically. You've got the strength to make peace with it, to cut the ties to it, to allow, and there is healing taking place because it's reversed up there. So we've moved. So it's about doing the work. It really is about having the strength of character to look it in the eye and deal with it. And sometimes acknowledge your part, because acknowledging your part, that's been a bit of a theme tonight actually, but being accountable, not just actually saying, well, it was all his fault or her fault, they were this, and they were just that, and they said this. It's about acknowledging, well, what part did I play? What did I say? What did I do that, you know, that contributed, maybe made the situation worse, changed the situation, but what part did I play? So own a part somewhere, and it will allow you to look at it in a very realistic way, unemotionally, and actually make peace with it. Because right now, let me just finish to go to this one. This is the important one. Knight of Pentacles. So there is change coming in. Now the change can impact upon your finances, or it can be a career. It's very much a card of change which benefits you in many different areas. It can also be a health card. Again, it can be about healing, because this is Pentacles cover health, wealth, happiness, relationships, friendships. They cover our earthly needs, including our home, our security, our sense of well-being. So from moving from hurt to looking at it, having the strength of character to put something right, especially mentally, and getting a more realistic, balanced approach, and then moving into well-being and change. So changed energy here. So I like that. It feels quite nice to me. Now, where we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a very restrictive energy. You can see that she's blindfolded, she's tied up, she's surrounded by swords. Now, this is normally a card of feeling trapped or feeling restricted, feeling held back. It was applicable. It came up a hell of a lot during COVID when in lockdown. It may be impacting again somewhere, and it could be a realistic concern. And I'll acknowledge that. But swords are in the main our thoughts. They're our how we communicate with people. So you may be thinking, I'm stuck, I can't move, I can't make any progress. And especially under the world, you don't want to have that energy. You need, and believe you me, she's practically walking out of those bandages, and there's a big space between those swords. This is a card saying you might feel stuck, you might think you're stuck, but you're not. They're actually, you're not as stuck as you think you are. You've just gotten into a pattern of believing it, and you need to challenge that thinking, because you don't want that thinking to stop you from venturing out. You've got the World here, the biggest travel card in the deck, the biggest opportunity card that can. So are you going to turn your back on opportunities or say you can't go traveling because you're feeling stuck? Question it. This is what your cards are telling you. This is where you need time out and to do some digging. Really establish what's going on in your head, because you've got great cards. You don't want to slow the energy down or impact upon it negatively, which will again just slow it down, but rather bring it in sooner rather than later. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Pentacles here. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is very much an energy that thinks long term. She makes plans. She makes decisions, but she plans ahead. She constantly plans ahead because the material world is very important to her. Now, not in a greedy materialistic sense. It's about security and welfare and looking after my family and thinking. And even for a single person, you'd be right now when this card represents, okay, how can I make my next step, the next move in my career? How do I do that? What are the steps I need to take? And right, I'm going to go and do it. So very, very proactive, a very, very, very grounded energy. Because Pentacles is Earth, so it can also represent a Taurian or a Virgo or a Capricorn that's maybe supporting you, guiding you, helping you. So look out for that. Cancer. So, but it also, the attributes of that Queen that you could adopt are that planning and that commitment and she has an ethic of work. She's really, really grounded, and she's just constantly thinking ahead. Very much in alignment with this card. Another Pentacle, the Four of Pentacles this time. So the Four of Pentacles is about long-term thinking. So she's thinking ahead. So this could be right now a career lady or a career the court cards aren't gender specific. This can be male or female. So this is a person that's thinking ahead. I'm thinking of my future. How can I think of that? Right, I better start planning my pension. So you may look at different pension options. You may look at different insurances. You may beginning to think, right, if I save with that bank will give me a better mortgage deal when I go to apply for a mortgage. This is really, really screwed on, fantastic, connected thinking, and really about my progress in life. How can I benefit my career? How can I consolidate my career? How can I save? Because I'm thinking about a house further down the line. I'm thinking about maybe having a family further down the line. This is all about long-term planning. I love it. Now, we have the Hermit. Now, the Hermit sometimes says this is when you need time out. Now, you've already got rest and rejuvenation. You might just need to take yourself away and do that bit of a digging for yourself, because you've got a couple of things you need to question, the past and that feeling of possibly being stuck, or what's holding me back, what's holding me. Sometimes the hermit's about internal resources. This indicates an energy of being able to stand on your own 2 feet. This indicates an energy of being capable, confident, competent. It's a terrific energy. People confuse it with loneliness for some reason. So sometimes it can pick up on a person's fear of being alone. But in the main, this is really a very together card. And in fact, energetically, apart from, you know, these 2 swords here, this is very much grounded, planning, thinking ahead. I mean, Cancer, you're a water sign, so you're an emotional sign, but these cards are all about being grounded. So you need to be aware in the month of February, you need to connect to being capable, being practical, thinking ahead, logical thinking, and stepping out possibly of your own natural instinct of emotions. Right, so we have another pentacle here. Now this pentacle is the 6. It's very much a karmic card. It's about sharing your wealth. Now I don't actually feel that you might have a lot of wealth in this, because I can see the long-term planning to try and get there. But it's saying also be kind and considerate and be aware of people that don't have, maybe they don't have a job, maybe they're not in a position to think long-term, to just be aware of the position of other people. It's very much a karmic card, and also a card of support. So you may find yourself always giving, you're the supportive friend that allows them to cry on your shoulder. You're the one that helps them cry it all out, and you're the one that picks up the pieces. And that's lovely, because it shows that you're you know, you've got that really giving energy. But it's also being allowing the others to do that for you, and you being vulnerable enough to allow that to take place, because this is a card of karma, giving and receiving. It's not I just do it. No, I give, receive, give, receive. It's balance. Now, you're getting your third 7 here. Now, the 7 of Swords is always the thief in the night sword. Sometimes I link it, probably with the therapy background, I link it with a loss of peace of mind, what's bothering you at 2 o'clock in the morning, what's keeping you awake. But it's very much a card of duplicity. So this is when somebody's communicating with you, again, words, thoughts, communication, and they can be communicating one thing and very much doing another, or saying another. Now, the very fact that it's coming out under storm warning and broken heart, you may either be experiencing or learning, or will learn this month, of somebody that's been a bit two-faced about you. You may find out it's already happened, and you might just hear about it in possibly this month. But come what may, I do not feel that it's going to be a long-term hurt or a long-term disaster for you, because both of these cards were reversed. It might stick in your craw, it might gnaw away at you. You might think, well, I trusted that person. How could they be like that? That's despicable, so two-faced, whatever. But you know what? You've learned, you've cut your ties, you've moved on, it's done. So again, it's about not dwelling in the past. And whatever lessons you've learned, if it has already occurred, please be aware, because it's showing its head here. So whether it's past or current, be aware that somebody can be being quite two-faced. Okay, so let's get 3 Enchanted Map. So angels, spirits, guides, can we have some Enchanted Map cards? So I really feel there might just be that, you know, that the Hermit card, the rest and rejuvenation. There may just be that that need to lick your wounds, because I feel as if some of this is dipping. Although this feels a bit current, whether it's rearing its head again from something else, like you might have fallen out with somebody, but you're now hearing that something else they said or something else they did, and it's really infuriating. But it really is about working on yourself and cutting those ties and just saying, you know what, it wasn't meant to be as a friendship or a relationship. I need to let this go. But wounds can, swords cut deep, and swords are words, they're thoughts, they're how we communicate with people. So, but when we allow them to hurt, we're giving away our power. So it's about acknowledging how you feel, possibly sharing it with somebody else, allowing somebody else to support you, because you might have been the person that's done all this, you know, the supporting in the past. And I'm not asking you to weep and wail, although for me it's very cathartic, but just share it. Just actually acknowledge it. Just say, I'm quite devastated. I feel so hurt. I didn't expect that. And honestly, if you are honest about it, you will heal a lot quicker. So let's have 3 Enchanted Map Cards, please. The Wizard of Awareness. So the Wizard of Awareness is the Magician, and it's about manifesting. So what are you going to manifest moving on? You're moving on now. You're moving into a different energy. There's a new beginning. Something's beginning to change here with the Knight of Pentacles. And with that Knight of Pentacles, you know, with the long-term planning as well, the change coming in is good change. So what form does that good change, what form would it have to make you feel good? Would it be a job change? Would it just be more money? Would it just be less bills going out? Would it be getting a new home, changing where you live? Identify it, because identifying it is the beginning of manifestation. And Spirit of Place. I know it's a very strange card, that one, because it mentions place, but it's actually about lessons, which I always found quite incongruous. But I haven't forgotten Colette's actual meaning when she designed these cards. But for me, she means it as a lesson. But I always think you won't forget the lesson, because you'll remember where and when you were there. And it's also about a sense. It's a sense of something. And I genuinely go past the books when and I always have my own meanings for cards as well. And for me, this is about finding a special place, a place for you to sit quietly, a place for you to meditate, a place for you to lick your wounds, a place for you to heal, a place for you that's special for you, that is regenerate you. So find somewhere. It could be the garden, it could be the bathroom with scented candles, it could be the woods, it could be going for a walk, but lift your spirits and connect with your heart, because there's healing taking place, and connect with that. And into the unknown. So you've got change here, so there might be a little bit of leap of faith going on. And with it being a 7 and also about change, it's very much about try not to, as opposed to saying don't, try not to feel as if you're just jumping into the unknown. Do your research, do your homework, learn about as much as possible about what it is. Say you wanted to go and work for a particular company, learn about them ahead of time. Say you want to aim for a different type of role, learn about the role. This is about arming yourself with as much information and as many facts as you possibly can. Because you're entering this new phase, this energetic phase. So forewarned is forearmed. And it's all about manifestation. So get clear. So angel spirits, guys, can we have 3 soul cards? What do Cancer need to think about this February? Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So into the unknown, I'm going to trust me. I'm going to trust my intuition. I'm going to trust my judgment. I'm going to trust that I have done my fact finding, done my research. Because I'm moving and I'm trusting myself. I'm in the flow. Love. Now, it says here, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So it's about being non-judgmental and possibly moving out of a period of feeling let down, or somebody being two-faced or duplicitous or betraying you, and that is getting past that feeling of being wounded and still keeping your heart open, not closing your heart off because somebody has disappointed you. And balance, very much. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. And that's what I was mentioning before. Just accepting you've learned maybe about people. Sometimes it can be a hurtful learning, a harsh learning, but don't allow it to affect who you are as a person. You're a beautiful soul. Keep that beautiful soul intact, and don't let external. I mean, for me, you'll escape it. You really will evade. And you've got the world coming in here, so a new cycle of energy. But you do need time out for yourself to rest and rejuvenate, and then it's going to be all systems go because you're long-term thinking, planning, and doing. So I hope that resonates with you, Cancer. Let me know next month how that panned out. And I look forward to seeing you again. So take care of yourselves during February, and bye for now.